said I. Still thinking is a reason to make some company with treason. The riches in my pockets overflowing, have you seen it? Understand me and my lingering neuroses. I habitually, and I'm wishing you were here by me. Disrespect and blessings flying with my broken wing. My thoughts are melting, can't stop dwelling, stop it, can you hear me? In my head, I'm on the floor, singing to my people, yelling more, more, more. I can't remember even days like this, consumed by this, find a way to get it out, it's all in my head. I'm on the floor, singing to my people, yelling more, more, more. I can't remember even days like this, consumed by this, find a way to get it out. Saying goodbye to the one who gave you butterflies and just severed all ties. Still weakened in my knees to think I'm comfortably still squeezing the tiniest of droplets, the lemon to quench me. Understand me and my lingering neuroses. I habitually, well, you and me qualify my stress and crying with my broken wing. My thoughts are melting, dwelling. Do you hear me? In my head, I'm on the floor, singing to my people, yelling more, more, more. I can't remember even days like this, consumed by this, find a way to get it out, it's all in my head. I'm on the floor, singing to my people, yelling more, more, more. I can't remember even days like this, consumed by this, find a way to get it out.
Nine Mile Roots on the Floor. One of the Mog Talk music represents, who was on our show right after Mackenzie Dale was episode, I don't know anymore.
Well, the shows, they're so good, they just kind of run together.
Yeah, but I number them for a reason. Oh, I did it again. Hang on a minute. Oops, I did it again. Speaking of Britney Spears, did you know that they're actually going to be doing a movie on her, and she told them not to, and they're doing it anyway?
Interesting.
Yeah.
But is it like a biography kind of movie, or is what's the premise?
That's what I was told. I got the news from my mom. I'm not really much of a Britney Spears fan. Never really was. Mm-hmm. I don't really care, but I can look it up, I should have did that before thinking about it, but I wasn't expecting to say her music out of my mouth. So I'll look it up in a little while. But Montauk Music was episode 25, band members speak out. He's a PR. So he was helping us out with some stuff on that one. Spears. Now I gotta look it up now. Hang on.
Well, while you're doing that, let's take a little moment too to remember a very extremely funny man who is no longer with us.
Yes, thank you for bringing him up.
Mr. Gene Wilder of many, many, many hilarious movies. Also a very good singer and musician in his own right. And another victim of 2016. It's going to be a rough year. I mean, it's been hard already. I mean, so many. I don't know how I feel about everything. It hits you right in the guts.
Yeah, it does. I was actually doing Midday Music Break on Monday, and then I saw on Facebook, like, oh, man, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I can't
so sad.
remember a time when there were this many members of the artistic world, so to speak, musicians and actors and everything alike, all kind of gone in 1 year. I mean, maybe I just never paid attention, I suppose, but it just seems like it's a lot more than you would expect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so anybody, if you're listening and you want to maybe talk about your favorite Gene Wilder movie, feel free to post it in the chat room, and we will discuss it for a moment or two or three, or who knows.
Aha, found it. Okay, so Britney Spears. Britney Spears might be basking in the glory of her new album coming out. Whoa, hello, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, people. Problem is, going in these links, I hear the music or the conversation in my headphones, and Spider doesn't, so like, wait a minute, I gotta shut these things off.
Pop-ups everywhere.
Oh, I hate pop-ups. Okay. Britney Spears might be basking in the glory of her new album coming out, but there are some people that she definitely doesn't want to capitalize off her success. It seems like Lifetime TV is making... God dang computer. Lifetime TV is making a movie based on the Making Me singer's life and career, and she does not seem to be too happy about it. Mrs. Spears issued a statement that she expressed her disapproval over the upcoming project. Britney Spears will not be contributing in any way, shape, or form of the Lifetime biography, a grab from her pop icon explaining according to People, nor does she have her blessings. So, she is not a proof of her own movie. You guys want to read more about it? I'll put it in the chat room.
That means that there's probably, if they're still allowed to make it and she's just saying her disapproval but not, saying that it has to cease and desist, then that probably means that someone at the record label of the source material that has rights to that kind of stuff, unfortunately, has granted access. And that does happen a lot, unfortunately. Like a record label, if you sign up when you're younger, when you're up and coming, they get a lot of rights and things that don't go back to you necessarily if you leave the record label. And I don't know what the state of her record label stuff is now. I don't know how many times she switched labels, if she even has. I've never been, that much of a follower of Britney Spears' career.
Yeah, for sure.
But, if like I said, if another person on another label somewhere in the past holds rights to parts of her catalog and parts of her likeness, so to speak, then that's where that's coming from. And let that be kind of a lesson to any musician out there who's listening to be very careful with the contracts that you sign. Because that kind of thing can happen. I mean, you can end up basically giving away your livelihood for who knows how many years. There was what was I talking about? Oh yeah, a perfect example. And here's a drinking moment for everybody. Is that 9 Inch Nails? Glug 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 glug. Trent Reznor, who's the guy who does everything for 9 Inch Nails, essentially. he a few years back, the rights to his first album, which was called Pretty Hate Machine, released in the late 80s. He'd been with a record label at the time. He'd split with that record label over a lot of problems later on, and they still retained rights to that album. They were selling it as part of bankruptcy proceedings. And so he attempted to buy it in an auction, and you think, oh yeah, the artist, they'll give him a good deal. They sold it to someone else who outbid him, and he lost the rights. And he retains part rights to some of the songs and things, but and I believe he eventually did get full rights back. But at the time, another company got a hold of him, and it was messy, and it was just plain wrong. And he's much more business savvy kind of guy now. Back then, he was a lot younger, and he probably didn't know the ins and outs quite so much. And but yeah, again, it's a lesson for independent musicians that if you're trying to get signed, which is not a bad thing. I mean, record labels are not all big, huge, evil, monstrous giants that just want to swallow you up. I mean, some of them are, but not all of them. So if you're thinking about signing with a label, make sure you read everything closely. If you don't understand what some of it is, get yourself a lawyer, look into it, make sure you do understand, because it's very, very important. That's your future. Your music is basically your future. If you're trying to make money off of your music and trying to be part of the business, and you're not just going out playing for free, then you need to go over any contract that you make very, very, very closely.
Right. And since we're on this bandwagon of this topic about your music, I'm getting a lot of music from MusicSubmit.com, and a lot of musicians are not labeling your music. And I'll be doing a newsletter here pretty soon showing you what I'm talking about, what I see from my side. So I'll be doing that when I get back from Fairy World, probably next Wednesday or the following week, something like that. But I'll let you guys know when I'll do it. And you guys are not labeling your music. What I get is track 1. I have no clue what it is. When I put it on my screen, I have no clue what that is. Is this track 1 or something in your language? I have no clue. And I have to go back and think, okay, what the song is, so I can tell people, hey, this is so-and-so. This is a song. And when we go into our streaming license, if I have only track, it's not going to read correctly, and I can't use that music. And I also see a lot of musicians just putting your song title, but not who you are. And it's just like, I need to make sure you have your name on it, or band name, whatever, and the song title, because when we go in our streaming license next year, we need that, make sure it's reading that so that people will know who we're playing. And plus, for
artists, this is basic bookkeeping. I mean, it used to be that you didn't have to worry about that because whoever recorded you, your producer or studio person, whatever, they'd take care of that kind of stuff. But being independent musicians now, we're doing a lot of that ourselves on our own laptops, our own equipment. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of this kind of stuff and promoting everything correctly. We need to not look sloppy. We need to look professional.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And this is your guys' work, your baby, your pride and joy, your blood, sweat, and tears. So make sure you label your work. And if you're not understanding what I'm talking about, I will do a newsletter showing you guys what I'm talking about, what I see. And those who will be getting a special email from me saying, label your music. Trust me on that. Because I want you guys to succeed. If you guys go to any other top 40 and do get a label and they listen to your music and a radio station takes you on, they see track 1 or 2, they're not going to use your music. Even though how awesome you guys sound, everyone does, you guys are not going to get anywhere. You be professional with your music. You want to go someplace, take the time and label your music. That's not my pet peeve. Ever since I found out we have to make sure we have all these things together when we get our streaming license. So anyway, and when you guys do get in the label, please let me know so that way we can make sure